Very good morning, friends. So in the previous video lecture we have seen that some special horticultural practices in fruit crops, that is bahar treatment, ringing, girdling, notching and bending. So if you haven't seen that video, then I will recommend you to see my previous video lecture so that you can understand these special horticultural practices in fruit crops. So in today's video lecture we'll be going to see some special horticultural practices in vegetable crops. So let's get started. There are three types of special horticultural practices. The first one is earthing up, then second one is staking, and third one is blanching. So let's see the one by one. The first one is earthing up. So earthing up simply means drawing soil from center of the bed and which is placed closer to the plant around the stem. So in this earthing up technique, in which simply the soil from the center of the bed with the help of some agricultural tool which is removed and placed closer to the plant around the stem, so that in which can helps the vegetable crops in case of windy weather by giving the mechanical support. So let's see the importance of earthing up technique. So earthing up of vegetable crops gives the mechanical support. As I said that it gives the mechanical support to the vegetables crop, especially in windy weather. So this earthing up technique is useful. So it also protects and provides the space for roots to grow. So in case of potato vegetables, it protects and provides the space for roots to grow. This is also a practice of supplying crops with nutrients to help them grow well. So earthing up techniques also useful in case of the supplying crops with nutrients. The earthing up techniques also gives the aeration to the root system so that they can grow well. So here's the diagram of earthing up techniques. Here's the some agricultural tool. The earthing up technique is carried out in sugarcane field. So a technique used where the soil surrounding a plant is mounded against the main stem, which helps in controlling early shoot borer in sugarcane. So this technique is also helpful in maintaining the diseases in vegetable crops. Also useful in potato tuber moth in potato. So this is about earthing up. Then second one is a stacking. Stacking provides each plant the ability to grow without bending to the point where it breaks the plant and stop growth. So in case of vegetable crops, when the vegetables have fruits, then the weight or due to the weight of that fruits, there may be a chance of breaking the plant branches. So in case of that, this staking technique is useful. So it provides the each plant the ability to grow without bending to the point where it breaks the plant and stop growth. So in case of staking, the plants are supported with the help of some wooden or bamboo or maybe some iron rods so that the plant can withstand. It can also be used to prevent the fruit from beginning to rot as it sits on the ground. So as I told you that due to the weight of fruits, there may be a chance of sitting the fruit on the ground and maybe a chance of fruit from beginning to rot. So in case of that, this staking technique is useful. So here's the diagram of staking, where we can see that the vegetable crops are supported with the help of some wooden or bamboo material. So wooden, bamboo or some iron stakes are set up for each pit on which the plants are trained by tying them on the stakes. So this is about the staking technique. So there are some advantages and also some disadvantages. So advantages of these techniques are it requires a low cost, then require less space and also easy to build. The disadvantages are that these wooden stakes can't stand heavy wind. So this is some disadvantages in staking, and also less yield as compared to other structured trellis. So this is about the staking. The third technique or the third special practice in horticulture in vegetable crops, that is blanching. So don't be confused with this term blanching, which is also used in cooking. So blanching is a technique used in vegetable growing. So remember that point, that blanching is a technique used in vegetable growing. So young shoots of a plant are covered so that the photosynthesis can be avoided or prevented, and thus simultaneously the production of chlorophyll is also prevented and thus remain pale in color. So different methods used include covering with soil, that is hilling or earthing up, or with solid materials such as board, or growing the crop indoors in darkened conditions. So this blanching technique, the reason behind this blanching technique is nothing but the younger shoots is avoided by preventing photosynthesis and ultimately by preventing production of chlorophyll, so that the blanched vegetables tend to have more delicate flavor and texture. So this is the main reason behind this blanching technique, that blanched vegetables generally tend to have a more delicate flavor and texture as compared to those that are not blanched. Okay, so this is the reason behind this blanching technique, but nowadays this blanching technique is discouraged. Okay, so why it is so? Because this blanching vegetable crops have a less nutritive value. Okay, so here we can also see that the blanching can also cause the vegetables to be lower in vitamin A. So this is the reason that in recent years this blanching technique is discouraged, because the nutritive value of vegetables is getting lower and lower. Okay, so blanching vegetables gives flavor and texture, but the main content of these vegetables, that is a nutritive value, is getting lower. So that this is reason that in recent years this blanching technique is discouraged. So excluding light from the stalks while the plants are still growing makes them devoid of chlorophyll and are known as blanched. Okay, so as I earlier told you that blanching is done either by wrapping around the leaf stalks or by earthing up soil as the plants grow. The plants are earthed up when they are about 40 centimeter tall after removing suckers. So blanching is now being discouraged as the nutritive value is reduced by this process. As I told you that the nutritive value of vegetables is lower in case of blanching vegetables. That's the reason that this technique is now being discouraged. So this is about the blanching technique in vegetable crops. So this is all about the blanching, and this is all about the special horticultural practices in vegetable crops. So I hope this will helps you. So now we completed this chapter. In the next video lecture we'll be going to start with new chapter. So until then, stay safe, stay home, and happy learning. Thank you.